So we all know that little devil on one side of our ear whispering amazing reasons why we can put off tasks until the last minute or even past the deadline. Now, what I'm talking about is procrastination, and that is today's topic for Learn with Besser. And by the way, if you're new to this, make sure you subscribe. We post weekly on different topics about productivity, well-being, performance at work. But let's get back to procrastination. So usually, I don't know about you guys, but 3 top justifications that we put, to kind of push tasks to later is, oh, you know what, I work better under pressure, I can do it later, this can wait. Or I really don't have time now, I would better do X, Y, and Z. Or this will take too much time, so instead maybe I can do this thing. So if I were you, I wouldn't take it that bad. This little devil is in our brain, and Ivana's going to tell us how to tackle this little notion. But no matter how rational it looks, to justify, to delay an action, in 90% of cases, it will be simply an irrational BS.
Elena, that's what you say is really true. This is a story that we are dominated by our brain, and he is the one dictating how we manage our time, how much we are procrastinating. Yes, it's totally the brain. So the human brain has 2 areas. One that is called the limbic system, and the other one is the prefrontal cortex. Now, the limbic system is like the majority of our brain, is the oldest part, and the one who is doing a lot of shortcuts in terms of decision making. It comes back to the prehistoric times where we had to take impulsive decisions in order to protect ourselves. The prefrontal cortex is the area where we are processing insights, we are reflecting. It is the one that allows us to plan for the future. And in fact, it's an unfair fight between the limbic system, the strong one that is irrational, and the prefrontal cortex that is very small, and it allows us to forecast the future. So procrastination happens when the limbic system vetoes the decisions of the prefrontal cortex. And of course, it is the biggest one. He is the winner at any time, and that's what allows us to delay all these decisions that we must take. Oh, coming back to procrastination, one of the biggest factors contributing to procrastination is the notion that we have to feel inspired or motivated to work on a task at a particular moment. Well, fortunately, procrastination is a liability in our life, and sometimes it can have serious impact in different areas of our life, including our mental health, social interactions, professional interactions, and our financial well-being. So let me put it in that way. So there is 3 basic elements to procrastination. What we expect about the future. When we expect bad things to happen, we tend to procrastinate. For example, if we are talking about, hey, I need to go and do a couple of sales calls, like, in fact, us, what we do at Besson. I have to do a couple of sales calls, but we put off the calling because we are a little bit scared that our sales pitch is going to be rejected. The second element of procrastination, it would be the value that it gets for us. The brain likes pleasure, something where there is not so much effort to be done. So the less enjoyable a task is, the harder it is to get started in a task, right? That happens to any of us? Okay. And the third element is the right timing. The timing of a task is the greatest determinant of whether or not to pursue a task. Immediate rewards are more desirable than rewards that require you to wait. So that's the 3 elements. Remember, what we expect about the task, the value that it brings us, how enjoyable it is, and the right timing. In fact, are we going to wait a lot in order to get these immediate rewards? Now, we know that our brain is wired for procrastination, but there is always a way to, if we understand how the brain functions, there is always a way to cheat the system, to cheat the brain. So a couple of suggestions in order to start breaking up with procrastination and to stop listening to the little devil that you mentioned that we have in one of our ears whispering to us. So one of the things that you may want to start doing is to break any task into small chunks. Go radical on that. Can you make the chunks of efforts 5 or 10 minutes in a day? That's a good question. But you don't have to think about, oh, 5 minutes, but I will not do much. But isn't it better to minimize the effort in a small little chunks of time and do it in a recurrent basis? The other thing is about keeping track. So write down within the day what you are going to be accomplishing in this task. So you have to cheat your brain so that it doesn't look for the brain so overwhelming. So write it down and track it. Remove distractions. So turn off your mobile, your email, close your door, put the little devil on your ear in the silent mode. So remove anything that can make you distracted. And finally, and this is super important, and I think that sometimes we try to minimize the impact of this, is about celebration. So our brain needs to have a little bit of a rush of dopamine, and dopamine it is when you are a little bit excited. So you can, what you can do is that when you achieve one of your chunks, one of these mini tasks that you wanted to achieve, to do something that makes you happy, make it a ritual. Listen to your favorite song, or do your victory dance, or do the famous events moving around your hands. Something that will signal to your brain you are doing something good, positive, and you are moving forward, and that will make you happy. So these are the takes about breaking up with procrastination. Is one of the things that, in fact, we all have. And remember, and you said it quite well, Elena, it is the brain who has put us in that situation. It is biological. It's not you. It happens to anyone, right?